A convicted Canadian serial killer who confessed to murdering 11 children and teenagers between the ages of 9 and 18 in the early 1980s. He's better known as the Beast of British Columbia. This week, Allie, we are going to be talking about Clifford Olson.
Clifford the Big Red Serial Killer. Okay, I'm excited.
Welcome to episode 2 of Canadian Creepies.
Happy 2.
I'm one of your hosts, Valerie.
And I'm Al, or E.
She's Allery. We are Valerie and Allery. And
welcome
we're
to
Canadian Creepies. We almost harmonized a little okay there.
We're creeps for the true crime.
We are creeps.
We're not really creeps in real life, though. Rest assured.
Rest assured. We are just normal. We have jobs.
We both worked the same job today and are exhausted.
But here we are, and
Yes.
we're happy to be here.
This is unwind time.
Unwind time, talking about true crime.
Time to truly relax within true crime.
That's right. That's right. And before we get into Clifford Olson, anybody who has followed the Robert Pickton case will know that I definitely left out just like a few things like the trial. And so I wanted to go through that before we hop into Clifford Olson.
Kind of like a final part 2.
Yeah, the final entry of the saga.
Final Pickton part.
That sounds like a good like a drama warm-up. Final Pickton part. Okay, so the trial for hopefully you've listened to episode 1. If not, please listen to episode 1. And here we go. So Pickton's trial began on January 30th, 2006. So we were 16.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I do remember this happening though.
I was too wrapped up in trying to catch the attention of my now fiance at 16, so I wouldn't have cared about this. But my fiance's family could have been maybe not mingling with Robert Pickton at the time, but in the first episode, I explained how like my fiance's family like partied with this guy. They've got some stories. Maybe I'll come back to another episode in the future when I can, kind of elaborate more and get some more like insight of details of it, because
that would be another good
pretty
idea.
Cool. Yeah.
So his trial began January 30th, 2006 in New Westminster, British Columbia. He pleaded not guilty to the 27 charges of first-degree murder in the Supreme Court of British Columbia, which is very funny because he did admit to that undercover officer that he was like, I killed 49 women. I'm really upset I didn't kill 50.
Yeah.
So the voir dire phase of the trial took most of the year to determine what evidence might be admitted before the jury. Reporters were not allowed to disclose any of the material presented in the arguments either.
Question. Sorry.
Answer.
Were family members of victims allowed to be at this trial?
I would imagine so.
Okay, I didn't know.
I would imagine so. Hopefully they were allowed to do it was 2006, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm just curious if things like that, like if family members are allowed in certain trials, are not allowed in certain trials, depending on like the crime level.
Yeah, definitely, I believe, family of victims is absolutely allowed in the trial.
I guess unless they're going to be like disruptive through grief and just wanting to get revenge. Yeah, okay.
Definitely. So on March 17th, one of the counts was rejected by Justice James Williams for lack of evidence. So one of the counts of first-degree murder was rejected. Mm-hmm. On August 9th, Justice Williams severed the charges, splitting them into one group of 6 counts and another of 20. So the trial proceeded on the group of 6 counts, and the remaining 20 were stayed on August 4th, 2010. Because of the publication ban, full details of the decision were not made publicly available.
Okay.
but Justice Williams explained that trying all 6 charges at once would put an unreasonable burden on the jury, as the trial could have lasted up to 2 years. It also would have increased the possibility of a mistrial.
Oh, the mistrial would have sucked if that happened.
That would have sucked.
Yeah.
It really would have sucked. And it's
Any mistrial sucks in a case
Right.
that people know that justice is needed. And that one, because all it takes is one. Oh no, a mistrial is it one juror that doesn't agree, or
it can be that. I think a mistrial can happen for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but then it's like then they have to do it all over again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to put family members through.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that would suck.
Absolutely brutal.
Okay.
The initial date for the jury trial on the first 6 counts was January 8th, 2007. Fun fact, January 8th is David Bowie's birthday.
David Bowie.
And I know that because I'm obsessed with David Bowie.
You are.
Not to align David Bowie and like a serial killer together, but whatever. So the initial jury trial on the first 6 counts was January 8th, 2007, but it was postponed to January 22nd. On that date, Pickton faced first-degree murder charges in the deaths of Frey, Abbotsway, Papin, Joesbury, Wolfe, and Wilson. So those are the last names of the 6 victims.
Okay.
The media ban was eventually lifted, and the details of what was found during the investigation were publicly released. And we're going to get into that.
Okay.
During Pickton's trial, lab staff testified that about 80 unidentified DNA profiles, roughly half male and half female, have been detected on evidence.
Wow.
A loaded .22 caliber revolver with a dildo over the barrel and 1 round fired, boxes of 357 Magnum handgun ammunition, night vision goggles. Is it
the dildo?
No,
the dildo over the.
I just looked. I'm reading my notes and I just look up at Allie and she's just got.
Why am I 5-year-old? I'm just like.
The dildo, but that's
something to picture.
That's ratchet.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Wait, over the handle?
A loaded .22 caliber revolver with a dildo over the barrel.
Oh, the barrel. Okay.
And 1 round fired.
If someone if someone pointed that at me, I'd be like, "Whoa, here we go!
Yeah.
Don't shoot that. I don't want to."
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, not a dildo.
Not a dildo. Don't shoot off. Yeah.
But also horrifyingly, if you think about it the other way, he's using it and that's a loaded gun.
It's a loaded gun and
so
yeah, dead.
Just
immediate dead. Yeah.
From the inside out.
Yeah.
And it's okay. So 22 caliber. So boxes of 357 caliber Magnum handgun ammunition. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The Americans are going to have to correct me because I don't know.
There's a lot going on there.
I don't know how to say guns. 2 pairs of faux fur-lined handcuffs, a syringe with 3 milliliters of blue liquid inside. A Spanish fly aphrodisiac were found inside. And a Spanish fly aphrodisiac were found inside Pickton's trailer. What is a Spanish fly aphrodisiac? Should I look that up?
Look that up quick. Also, side note, like us Canadians, I didn't come from a hunting family. So I'm not familiar with guns in that sense. And then just being a Canadian, we just don't have guns really. I mean, we probably have more now than we ever have. But the Americans can help us with that because you guys are heavy on the guns over there.
That's right. From our understanding.
From our understanding, yeah.
Not all of you. Not
all of you. And you know what? Nothing. No judgment.
It's just as long as it's responsible.
Yeah.
No judgment.
No judgment.
Until you let your kids get them, then I'm judging. I'm very much judging.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Okay, so the term Spanish fly has referred to various aphrodisiacs purported to get women in a sexual mood and give men strong erections.
Okay.
However, the real Spanish fly contains a hazardous substance that can blister your skin. Spanish fly refers to a number of love potions and aphrodisiacs available on the market for decades.
Why am I thinking like Jack the Ripper? I don't know why.
You think he used some Spanish fly? How would he have gotten it?
No, there's not going to be any Spanish fly related to Jack the Ripper. That's the first thing I thought about. But
I thought of the
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No,
there is a giant fly. There is a giant fly.
There's also a cockroach.
Yeah, the cockroach.
Honey,
and the ant.
Honey, we shrunk ourselves.
Honey, we shrunk ourselves. Great.
No, I was thinking of the Herb Alpert song, Spanish Flea.
Oh, Spanish Flea. Oh, that's much. Yeah, love it.
When I was bartending, when I used to bartend, I would play music on my phone. This is at Monty's.
Oh, at Monty's.
Yeah, I would play music on my phone. And if somebody would be like, especially near closing, if somebody was like, Val, change the song, I'd be like, no problem. I got the exact song for you. You're going to love this one. I will change this. This next one, it's coming on for you. Blaring through the speakers. And
it's just like, okay.
They like roll their eyes and be so mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you can't have another beer.
Those are good times at Monty's. I love that though. I would have been the only one other than you probably
Trolling.
Jamming it too.
Trolling.
Yeah.
I loved a good troll.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta find out where we are. In a videotaped recording played for the jury, Picton claimed to have attached... Oh, here we go back to the dildo, so get ready.
Okay.
Picton claimed to have attached the dildo to his weapon as a makeshift silencer.
I was just okay, I meant to say that earlier. Silencer, DIY silencer, but then we just got caught off talking on something else.
I never even would have
I was
thought
thinking
Very
silencer
smart.
in my head because I'm like, why the dildo? Other than to maybe silence some of the noise. But I just didn't voice it.
I thought it was like a power thing. Like I'm gonna...
That is also another really good
hypothesis.
Hypothesis, yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay. This explanation was impractical at best, though, as revolvers are near impossible to silence in this manner.
Okay. He attempted, he failed.
He failed. And that wasn't the real reason.
But then again, I feel like nobody heard it anyways, maybe?
Yeah, he lived on, it's like his own farm.
So,
a videotape of Picton's friend Scott Chubb.
Here's another. We had
two B's.
Yeah, we had the two last names in the first episode. Chubbs is going to be added to third to the list.
So Scott Chubb was saying Picton had told him a good way to kill a female heroin addict was to inject her with windshield washer fluid.
Nice touch.
Yeah, wow. A second tape was played for Picton in which an associate named Andrew Bellwood...
Bellwood.
Just kidding.
Bellwood.
Yeah. Andrew Bellwood.
Mm-hmm.
So he named Andrew Bellwood, said Picton mentioned killing sex workers by handcuffing and strangling them, then bleeding and gutting them before feeding them to pigs.
My God.
That's just brutal.
That is just brutal.
No one deserves that. Pedophiles deserve that.
Pedophiles deserve that. And
Robert Picton himself deserves that. I would argue that animals don't deserve that.
Animals don't deserve that.
You're a vegetarian, so you agree.
I know, but I'm a hypocrite when it comes to fish.
Yeah.
Horrible. But also, yeah, I don't like the whole gutting thing. It's so,
yeah.
It's so gory.
I watched this show the other day called Love Off the Grid.
Love Off the Grid. Is that good?
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. And this woman, obviously she was killing her own chicken.
Yeah.
And it's just like thanking it for its life. And I was like, I could not.
It depends on how you're brought up. I truly believe that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you.
I mean, for example, just a quick side note, like Dahmer, because I was talking to my mom about Dahmer yesterday, but his dad, I don't know if he introduced him to like roadkill and he just got comfortable with it somehow, but he was like introduced to something.
Yeah.
I swear.
I think it was.
Maybe I'm completely wrong about
exactly what it was, but yeah. And then his dad helped him.
Yeah. Dissect it or break it down. So it's like you're a product of a comfortability from what you grew up in.
Yeah.
So, pig farming and like dairy industries and stuff, like being around death of animals can be quite normal to some people.
Yeah.
I just can't fathom it.
I couldn't even handle my
I'm on a peach orchard and if a peach falls, I'm like, oh, that poor peach.
Yeah. I couldn't even handle it at my sister's with the roosters and the chickens. It's brutal. Okay, so photos of the contents of a garbage can found in Picton's slaughterhouse, which held some... let me try that again. Also presented at the trial were photos of contents of a garbage can found in Picton's slaughterhouse, which held some remnants of victim Mona Wilson.
Dang.
Right?
Remnants.
I know. Ooh, I know. It gives me the heebies. Also, so sorry to the family of Mona Wilson.
Yeah.
On December 9th, 2007. Okay, so the trial started in January 2006. And it's not until December 2007 the jury found Picton not guilty on 6 counts of first-degree murder, but he was found guilty on 6 counts of second-degree murder.
Okay.
So maybe we should look up the difference between first and second-degree murder because I can never remember.
So this is like just under 20 years ago? Ish? Yeah. Dang. Time flies.
First-degree murder is defined as a homicide that is both planned and deliberate. An example of this is a contract killing.
Okay. That makes sense.
Second-degree murder, the definition of second-degree murder is a deliberate killing that occurs without planning and does not fall under any of the categories of first-degree murder.
Right. Okay.
So they basically said he didn't plan it, and they were like impulsive killings, maybe.
Yeah, impulsive would make sense. Maybe even I could see legal teams using, mental health or maybe psychosis of some sort as a defense mechanism for someone's choice in killing someone, but not not pre-planning it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was like a crime of passion.
Crime of passion, yeah.
On December 11th, 2007, after reading 18 victim impact statements, British Columbia Supreme Court Judge Justice James Williams sentenced Picton to life with no possibility of parole for 25 years, which is the maximum punishment for second-degree murder.
Well,
and equal to the sentence which would have been imposed for a first-degree murder conviction, stating, Mr. Picton's conduct was murderous and repeatedly so. I cannot know the details, but I know this. What happened to them was senseless and despicable. And that's what that judge says is true. One more thing about Robert Picton. I did see there is a new show on Disney Plus called Sasha Reed and the Midnight Order.
Okay.
And I think it's in the second episode. I didn't finish watching it yet. She has like another theory that maybe there was somebody else killing people with Picton just because of the amount of DNA samples and the amount just like, of bodily evidence at the scene and stuff. So, and disposing of that many
I want to hear this theory.
Bodies. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's called Sasha Reed and the Midnight Order, and it's all like women detectives.
Love it. I love that.
Right? Okay, so let's get back into Clifford Olson.
Clifford.
So the Beast, better known as the Beast of British Columbia.
Is he still alive?
No.
Okay. I feel like he would have loved that.
Spoiler alert. He's dead.
Yeah, that's okay. I feel like he would have, like the Beast of British Columbia. I feel like that's giving too much credit.
Oh, yeah. He probably loved it at the time.
Probably loved it at the time.
He was obsessed.
Sick.
He was like, slay. He would have made that his like Instagram handle.
Exactly.
Had he not been born in 1940.
Right.
So Clifford Robert Olson Jr. made it into the newspapers the day he was born. And that was on January 1st, 1940. He was one of the New Year's babies celebrated at St. Paul's Hospital in Vancouver, BC. And that's crazy that more than one baby was born on January 1st. Like, you don't really hear of that.
No.
He was born at 10:10 p.m., so pretty late in the day, to Clifford and Lenoa. It might be Lenora, but I think it's Lenoa. To Clifford and Lenoa Olson. They missed out on the big New Year baby prizes, which was like a silver spoon and a case of formula. Mm-hmm. And instead they got a consolation prize, which was a baby book and a dainty gift from a drugstore. So probably like a little rattle or something.
Something, I think.
which, like, good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
And this is, when I was reading about this sort of like reminded me of what you were saying last episode about like serial killers who have relatively normal upbringing.
Yes.
This is going to be one of them.
Okay.
So Lenoa and Clifford Sr. were a pretty ordinary couple. They grew up in the prairies before moving to Vancouver, getting work at a local fish cannery, while Clifford Sr. delivered milk in one of the last of the area's horse-drawn wagons. So Clifford Sr. delivered milk on a horse and buggy, and Lenoa worked at a local fish cannery. Pretty honest living, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's hard work.
They lived in a small house near the Pacific National Exhibition grounds on the east side when Clifford was born. The Olson family moved to Edmonton, Alberta, returning to the West Coast after the war, which is World War II. So Clifford Sr. would have fought in World War II when Clifford Jr. was just 5 years old. So they moved to Edmonton when Clifford Jr. was 5.
Okay.
Olson Sr. settled the family in a modest one-story house on Gilmore Crescent in the sprouting suburb of Richmond, in an 80-home community built by the government for its servicemen after World War II. And little Clifford started school at Bridgeport Elementary. This is what I mean about like a fairly decent upbringing.
Yeah.
His father did fight in the war, but his father came home from the war.
He wasn't beaten.
Not to our knowledge.
To our knowledge.
He was put like, even though he was like the child of like a veteran, he was put in a community of people who there was probably a bunch of other little kids.
Yeah. Oh,
just
yeah.
like in the exact same situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Early on, Olson earned a reputation as a show-off.
Okay.
When I taught him, declared a former teacher, he deliberately misbehaved to be the center of attention. Sometimes it was almost as if he wanted to be caught. He was also skipping classes by the time he was 10 years old, and by age 15 had failed his grades several times. He was jailed for the first time after just finishing grade 8.
Dang. Like it's like 12,
are you kidding me?
13?
I would never. Yeah, that's 12.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like I had a couple potential classmates that could have been jailed.
Totally. But for like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll continue on. It was hard for anyone to get a word in edgewise when Olson was around. So
I hate that type of personality.
Just talk. Just thinking like his word is the best and everybody has to listen to him and his opinion is important.
Narcissist.
Yeah, his compulsive talking was just one of the ways in which he controlled people. Forever the smart aleck, a loner, and a bully at heart, he never did have any close friends. Always in trouble, it was a lark for him to sell out-of-date lottery tickets door to door, steal milk money left on porches, and tormented the local dogs and cats.
Side question, I should say. Do you think in this time someone like Clifford could have been diagnosed with something but wasn't because of just like how the healthcare world was? Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe he like suffered from something that we now know exists.
Yeah, narcissism.
But like, do you know
that's a disorder.
A disorder. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe he could have been treated earlier on and something could have been prevented. I always wonder that, you know,
right?
Especially with older cases. Yeah.
That's always the argument. Is it nature versus nurture, right? Because in this case, it seems like he was just born this way.
Yes.
He was just born just ready to raise hell.
Yeah. Sounds like a disorder almost.
Yeah. Definitely like a impulse.
An impulse. Something that could have maybe been treated by something had they had, you know, actually examined him and caught it in time. Exactly. Carry on.
Thank you. Valerie, back to you. Okay, so we're going to go through the murders. Now, these ages, like, quite young, some of them.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. And as always, if I mispronounce any names or any facts, I'm happy to correct.
Yeah.
Just contact us, and I will
just skip past if you don't want to hear about, you know,
and skip past if you press the 15
adolescent
second button.
death and details.
Yeah. So, first name is Christine Weller. She was 12. from Surrey, British Columbia. She was abducted on November 17th, 1980. Her body was found more than a month later on Christmas Day. Like, I literally have goosebumps reading this.
Oh, I do too.
She had been strangled with a belt and stabbed repeatedly.
Oh my goodness.
So sad. Sending so much love to the family of Christine Weller, because this, even like intergenerationally amongst these victims' family, like that's very impactful. The trauma, the generational trauma, knowing, it's wild.
At 12, I was biking with no parental. No, my parents didn't even know where I was half the time at 12.
Right? And this was 1980, so it would have been the same with...
That is just...
And for somebody to take advantage of the trusting nature of society like that...
Yes. What a letdown.
What a letdown, yeah. On April 16th, 1981, Colleen Marion Daignault, 13, vanished. 5 months later, her body was found. On April 22nd, 1981, Darren Todd Johnsrud, 16, was abducted and killed. His body was found less than 2 weeks later. On May 19th, 1981, 16-year-old Sandra Wolfsteiner was kidnapped and murdered. 13-year-old Ada Anita Court was murdered in June 1981. 6 victims followed in quick succession in July 1981. Simon Partington, 9. That's literally my son's age.
That's like my nephew.
Yeah, that's
so heartbreaking. Yeah.
He was abducted, raped, and strangled on July 2nd, 1981. Like, my heart just like goes out to these families and like the parents of these children. I can't imagine.
And who would have
As a mother, I absolutely cannot even fathom.
That's why I was saying, like, to relive through trials, like through mistrial, and then having to relive again. I couldn't. I just don't think I'd have it in me.
And then have to go to like the parole hearings.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're not getting out.
Most of the time I feel like they're cowardly. They don't look up, they don't show, they just, from many trials that I've seen, they even laugh at times, like they're they taunt.
Yes.
And it's
Some of them do. Yes. It's very unnerving. Judy Kozma, a 14-year-old from New Westminster, was raped and strangled a week later. So that was after Simon. Mm-hmm. Her body was discovered on July 25th near Weaver Lake. The next victims were Raymond King II. He was 15, abducted on July 23rd, raped and bludgeoned to death. Wow. Sigrun Arnd, an 18-year-old German tourist, raped and bludgeoned 2 days later. Terry Lynn Carson, 15, raped and strangled on July 27th. And Louise Chartrand, age 17, the last victim identified, who died on July 30th.
Sounds like it progressed, because the first couple, there was no rape. And then it progressed to maybe more violent acts as he got more comfortable, right?
Yes.
I think it tends to happen like that in a lot of the cases.
Definitely. Yep.
It's crazy.
It is. It's bananas. But we're going to get into the arrest now.
We like the arrest.
We love the arrest. We love the arrest. We love the trial.
Yeah.
I also have like a timeline here. But I wanted to read, I think after I do the arrest and plea bargain, then I'll go through the timeline just to see like how long
sounds good
this reign of terror lasted.
I want to know the reign of terror time.
Yes.
Time. Yeah.
So Olson, we're on to the arrest and plea bargain right now. Olson, who had an extensive criminal history, was arrested on August 12th, 1981. Oh, and before I get into this, I meant to credit a creator at the beginning of this. Because I gained a lot, how I'm doing my research for each episode, I'm still sort of learning and navigating my way through that. There is one creator on YouTube, True Crime Canada, just compelling. It's great.
Okay.
The host of it is great. I watched like a 50-minute thing on Clifford Olson before I actually started.
Right.
Because that's how I learn. I have to watch and then.
Yeah.
But she's just like great. And
she'd probably be so happy to know that you've.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to plug her a link to her channel will be in the show notes. So feel free to check her out. And we'll be pulling from her quite a bit. She's a great resource.
Any source you'll mention for credit. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Olson so we know he had an extensive criminal history, was arrested on August 12th, 1981 on suspicion of attempting to abduct 2 girls.
Okay.
So they finally got evidence to like
Yes.
get him.
A link of some sort.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. By August 25th, so that was the 12th. So by August 25th, Olson had been charged with the murder of Judy Kozma. He reached a controversial deal with authorities, agreeing to confess to the 11 murders and show the RCMP the location of the bodies.
Okay.
Like of the ones that hadn't been recovered yet.
Okay. I wonder if they were accurate.
Right? In return, authorities agreed that $10,000 for each victim was paid into a trust for his wife, Joan, and then infant son, Clifford III. Okay, so in order for him to cooperate, the Canadian government was going to put $10,000 per each victim. There were 11 victims he was going to identify. They were going to pay him. Well,
did he request that?
Yeah.
How can someone that does such careless things be so...
It was the 80s, man.
...caring towards his own...
son and wife.
And wife.
I know. It's
wife, female,
it's
woman.
It's so hard to reconcile.
Yeah, it's crazy.
His wife received $100,000
No
after
shit.
Olson cooperated with the RCMP.
Wow.
Yep. And the 11th body, with the 11th body being a freebie.
Freebie.
Yeah. So they
My
gave him,
God.
$10,000. I know.
I'll throw an extra one in there for you.
Here's your punch card.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we don't have any punch cards.
My God. Oh my God.
In January of 1982, Olson pleaded guilty to 11 counts of murder and was given as many concurrent life sentences to be served in Canada's super maximum security special handling unit in... This prison is French. It's in Quebec, and I'm going to butcher it.
I want to say Paul Bernardo's there.
Saint-Anne-des-Plains.
I'm not sure.
I need my Quebec listeners to correct me. Saint-Anne-des-Plains, Quebec, which houses many of the country's most dangerous criminals.
Yeah.
Olson scored a 38 out of 40 on the psychopathy checklist.
Okay.
According to forensic psychiatrist Stanley Semrau, who interviewed Olson at length in prison. So, yeah, basically every check mark he could have to being a psychopath, he had it. He was like, check me off. I'm here to slay people.
So, yeah, and kids. But this is what I mean. It's like too bad that checklist couldn't have been checked off.
Yeah,
when he was
prior to being in jail.
Yeah. Oh, little Cliffy's gonna grow out of this.
Well, Cliffy's gonna grow out of killing dogs. They don't grow out of killing dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
They never do.
They never do, and they never will. Out your sons, moms.
Yeah, out
your
them.
sons.
Any animal killer?
Out your sons.
We need like a public forum. Little Jimmy, ant
Watch
killer.
for Jimmy.
Well,
I saw Jimmy on the anthill the other day with a magnifying glass.
Yeah, stomped on it too.
Oh my god.
Flooded it, magnified it, stomped it. Psychopath.
That is torture.
Yeah.
In 1983, Gordon Taylor introduced a private member's bill in the House of Commons of Canada, mandating Olson's execution, notwithstanding his 1982 sentence and Canada's 1976 abolition of capital punishments for murder. So despite the fact that we were like, we don't kill killers. We don't do that. This guy was like, I think for Olson we should.
Yeah, love it.
I think we should. And
bring that card out just for one-time use for little Cliffy here.
Yeah, just for Cliffy the second.
Yeah.
Numerous petitions supporting the bill were laid before the House. This is the 80s, man.
80s.
You know, Canadians were wild in the 80s.
Just talking about this era, but I do like this aspect of it.
I do.
I hate everything else.
They were wild. Okay, so in the 80s, I'm sorry, Mom, if you're listening, but I'm going to out you for this. In the 80s, Allie, because we live like close to the United States.
Yeah, we do.
In the 80s, a lot of adults, maybe even just late teens at that time, where we are from, our bars would close down at like 2 or whatever time they closed down.
Yeah.
They would just, and the drinking and driving laws were a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
They would just hop into a car, go over the border, and drink over the border, and then come home after. Like, it's wild.
That is crazy.
You can't even go over the border without a passport now.
No,
and these guys were just getting hammered.
I mean, they were living their best life, probably.
The best lives. They're like, and this is why you can't do anything.
Yes.
This is why we can't have nice things, because you guys used to do that.
Right?
I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, how many
Leave
of them
me
were probably
a comment
drinking?
if you hate me.
Yeah.
I'll argue with everyone. Just kidding. Don't make me do that. I have anxiety.
Yeah, we have
anxiety.
We don't want to.
Okay, so it was eventually that bill was ruled out.
Okay, fair enough.
They were like, no, we're not.
We're not bringing it back.
We're not going to kill him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We're not doing it.
Okay,
so I'm going to
If we do it for him, then we're going to have to do it for everybody. Okay.
Yeah, if we start here, where do we draw the line?
That, or like we just become obsessed with it and capital punishment for everyone.
That's right.
Yeah.
Steal some gum, death.
Yeah. Right to jail.
Right to jail. Do not collect, go.
Yeah.
Okay, so from November to July 1980, so Clifford Olson, a 41-year-old Coquitlam, BC construction worker, terrorizes the lower mainland, torturing, sexually assaulting, and murdering 8 girls and 3 boys between the ages of 9 and 18 years of age. On Christmas Day in 1980, the body of Olson's first victim was found. August 12th, 1981, Olson is arrested by the RCMP on Vancouver Island. It's like, we should celebrate the day serial killers were caught.
100. Yeah, that should be a
national,
national National Pie Day. More like National Clifford Jr.
Remember that episode of The Simpsons where they're like, like getting the snakes out of town?
Yeah. Oh, that was an old season.
Yeah, we do that with like serial killers.
Oh, I love
Get out of here!
Oh, that would be amazing.
So funny.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, we have like National Shoelace Day. Everybody tie your shoelaces. Instead, we could have like a historical moment of like, wow, we're lame.
That's right. I'll petition to make it a.
Yeah.
Sign our petition.
Yeah.
And everything. You know what? I don't know if petitions actually work. They must to some regard, but. Okay, so in late 1981, Olson reveals the locations of victims' bodies to RCMP after brokering that deal we talked about.
Fair enough.
So that was in late 1981.
Okay.
January 1982, Olson recants his initial not plea guilty, confessing to 11 murders in what was dubbed the trial of the century.
Okay.
Little did we know that Robert Pickton would be coming up after you.
Wow. Back to back.
Back to back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Literally back to back.
Yeah.
And both in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Yeah.
You're not going to one-up me.
Yeah, that's right. And the one victim, remember I told you last week, the one victim, or last episode, had escaped Clifford Olson only to be killed by Robert Pickton.
Oh my God. What are the chances?
Right?
That is called the worst luck.
The worst luck.
Yeah.
I hope that person that soul came back to earth just as the most loved.
Yeah, most loved,
just like
cherished, beautiful.
Just most, whatever.
I think that might be the worst luck I've ever heard of someone experience.
Literally.
Okay.
The worst luck. In January 1980, I said that. In January 14th of 1982, the BC Supreme Court hands down 11 simultaneous life sentences.
Yeah, we like that.
We love that. May 2nd, so this is when we still did the simultaneous life sentences like the states do.
Yeah.
Now we just do 25 years to life.
I think we get the point now. It's like,
It's like 3,100. I think it's like your soul. It's like it had a lot to do with like when religion was ingrained in the government.
Imagine someone was like, I'll do that. 2,000. Could you imagine if someone actually made it?
Yeah, to 2,000. They would just be like,
that's absurd. But yeah. I'm going to go live my best life now. Yeah.
Donald Trump might do it.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Come for me in the comments.
Yeah.
We don't like him.
We don't like him.
And we're Canadian, so I can say what I want.
Yeah, we can say what we want. We have our own election we got to deal with. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. Leave me a comment. I'll tell you who I'm voting for.
Yeah.
May 2nd, 1986, Olson sends a letter to the parents of 16-year-old Darren Johnsrud detailing their son's murder. How... From prison. Oh, wait, he wasn't in prison yet. Or was he? He was in prison there. So how did that get past prison guards? Don't they have to screen the letters going out?
1,000,000%. Or maybe, but not.
Didn't he
this
realize?
Is the 80s, right?
Yeah,
Wild times.
Woohoo!
Wild.
I see why you don't like the 80s now. December 15th, 1989, imprisoned at Kingston Penitentiary.
Oh, Kingston.
Woohoo.
Another show to watch, Mayor of Kingstown.
Oh, yeah. I wanna
Great
get
show
into
so
that.
far. Oh, just get into it. I'm not going to say a thing. It's worth it. To anybody who's questioning watching it, watch it.
I will watch it. And also I want to, while we're talking TV shows, should we briefly talk about Ready or Not? What does your mother say? What does your mother say?
He likes someone with big boobs.
In the show notes, if you watch the classic, I've been really into the show Ready or Not. It's not available on any streaming services, but I can leave a link to where you can watch it online in the show notes. Busy and Amanda. And while we're on this topic, I just want to tell you something. Busy, played by Lanny Billard.
Okay.
I found her on Instagram.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, I went and found them both on
Well, you
Instagram.
just got it, yeah. You go
And-
down the rabbit hole of trying to find stuff. So
Busy plays drums in real life
nice.
in a band called Love Pocket.
Love Pocket.
Love Pocket.
Yeah.
And they played not maybe an hour and a half from here. I was like, I'm gonna go. I followed them and I was like, I'm gonna go see Busy play the drums.
It's like, I mean, you can't compare it to Degrassi because it's like two different age ranges, because Ready or Not is very much like grade 8.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like
But
more mature.
it's like Degrassi vibes in a sense of like, I don't know. I'd say we were just talking about the acting is like on par for
Ready or Not.
Yeah, Ready or Not.
really good.
If you like, this is what I'm saying. If you like kind of Degrassi vibes,
You'll like Ready or Not.
you'd love Ready or Not. It's like, yeah.
It's so good. And it's like Degrassi.
Original Degrassi.
Yeah, original Degrassi. But with Ready or Not, it's just such like especially for women or girls. It's such
girls.
a coming of age.
It's
Now there are
coming
some
of age.
verbiage that is dated.
Yeah,
There's some dated topics in there, which is probably why it won't go any streaming services.
Yeah.
So watch knowing that we were doing our best with Canadian media.
Yeah, and you'll
it
also
was wrong.
Yeah, terrible. But you'll also see fashion that is coming back now from Ready or Not era.
Yes. Also,
So much stuff is coming back from.
Lanny Billard,
Yeah.
Busy, is on Cameo. So if you and Kyle want to,
Yeah.
for my birthday,
Okay. Okay. Cameo. I was
get her
like,
to send me a little, hey,
Couple-
Valerie,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Ready or Not.
Oh my God, like drumming it. Ready or not.
Yeah, you're just like, this is the best moment of my entire life.
I
in
would cry
existence.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back
Back on a serious note.
Okay, so yeah, thank you. December 15th, 1989, imprisoned at Kingston Penitentiary. Olson says God has forgiven him.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not religious, but bitch, God has not forgiven you.
No, I mean, whatever you got to tell yourself, bud.
And he said, I've asked for forgiveness. I've been forgiven. And that's the end of it.
And how the fuck were you told that you were forgiven?
Yeah,
I
who
want to
told
know.
you that?
Did
Who
God
told you?
tell you? You should have recorded that so we could all. I want to hear God telling you.
Show me the receipts.
You. Yep, receipts.
I want to hear proof.
Yep.
Receipts, proof, timeline.
Yeah. Or we're gonna magnify you, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll magnify you on the anthill.
Yeah.
March 11th, 1997, Olson invokes the faint hope clause to request an early parole hearing after serving 15 of his 25-year sentence. So after 15 years, he's like, please,
Oh my.
hear my plea. The faint hope clause,
So
which
scathing.
it is, right? The faint hope clause, which gives murderers exhibiting good behavior the opportunity for early parole. The clause is amended in 1997. So after he asked for it, they changed the clause, making Olson the last serial killer to call for early parole. So there's no more faint hope clause. They were like,
Okay.
you are a serial killer. You do not...
You done.
You're done. Your chances.
You're done.
Your chances
You're
in society are over. We thank you for playing. Once again, you're not passing go. You're not collecting $200. You're going right to jail, and
Right
that's
to
where you'll
jail.
stay. June 1997, Olson transfers from a Saskatchewan prison to that French one in Montreal or in Quebec. With Montreal, Quebec.
Right.
August 21st, 2001, a national parole board jury needs 17 minutes to agree. Only needs 17 minutes to agree that Olson will stay behind bars. July 18th, 2006, at another parole hearing, Olson claims he's really going for these parole hearings.
Yeah,
right?
he is really going for them.
Really such a friggin' jerk that way.
That's what I mean. It's a taunt.
Just go away.
It's a taunt.
Yeah,
it's like
a total taunt.
Yeah.
Fucking annoying.
And you know
fucking
what?
Rude.
This is what I fucking hate is when I've found God. I found God. I found God. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Just fuck off with that.
Be accountable.
Be accountable, you coward.
You are absolutely, and you know what? You're absolutely allowed to find God, but the route to I'm not religious, but from my opinion, as like a recovering addict, the route to finding your own version of God or your own version of your higher power is through accountability.
Accountability. Agreed. You do
you
the
have
crime.
To say, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah. And you did the crime, you do the time.
Yeah.
And if your time is given to you in whatever, you pay the time, you pay it.
That's right.
There's no,
You're
I
done.
found
Your
God.
chances are done.
And you bring it,
You don't get out again. And the only reason this bastard wanted out is to kill again.
Exactly.
It's not like he was like, I'm going to be. In his entire life, he was never a functioning member of society.
Yeah. I find it bizarre when I see on our daily news where we're from, sex offender repopulated into, the community.
People who were arrested with drugs on them still in jail.
Yeah, and it's just like, it is mind-blowing to me what some of the things I read on our, true fact daily news posts. I'm like, this can't be real. And then I fact check it and it's real. And I'm like, 2024, what?
Yeah, what is going on?
What is going on?
And you know what? I think we are just.
But that just always annoys me with the paroles. It's like, I've found God. I've changed. It's like, bitch, no, you fucking haven't.
Yeah, you have.
Walk yourself back into that.
Even if you have changed, the impact that you had on your victims' family and friends' life, that's literal generational trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody in my family was murdered, which they may very well have, might have been, I do not know. We all would carry that generational trauma, that sadness, that depression. It eventually becomes a part of your genetics and your DNA.
And I just don't get
when we talk about residential schools.
And it's like the audacity that you think that taking lives, you have to pay a price for that. But, within a few years or several years, you're worthy of going, you've taken lives. Those people are not able to live.
That's right. Yeah, they're done living now.
They're done living. They don't get to go to a parole fucking hearing.
No. They don't get another opportunity.
They don't get an opportunity for anything. Oh,
their family doesn't get to hug them again.
No. And it's like, oh my. It just brings it all to me. We're in spooky season now. This is where it's like the little horns on Allie are like, yeah.
July 18th, 2006, at another parole hearing. Okay, this is the one that got us worked up, so I'll repeat it.
We curse in this show too, by the way.
We totally can curse in this show.
If you didn't hear it already,
shit.
Yeah. If you didn't hear, I
don't take it back.
No, I don't take it back, and I'm an adult, so I can say what I want.
That's right.
Sorry, I cut you off.
That's okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Olson claims he struck a deal with the.
With the devil. Let me.
The devil. No, but this is really funny. So this is July 18th, 2006. And at the time of this recording, it is September 12th. Okay?
Okay.
So let's keep that in mind. At the time of this recording, it's September 12th. At the time, at this parole hearing in July of 2006, Olson claimed he struck a deal with the U.S. General Attorney regarding 9/11 information.
I can't. Oh my God.
And he will be extradited. So he's just like, now he's just going for Hail Marys. He's like, I'm just going to say it.
I can't with him. He is like pulling the rabbit out of the hat.
Remember when you were like a little kid and you like really wanted to convince your parents of something, so you would like go into your room and you would like really think of like the best possible way.
Maybe rehearse it a little.
Rehearse it, and you think of, I shouldn't say it this way, I should say it that way, because my mom will really know how much it means to me if I say it this way.
Exactly.
I feel like that's what he did. He was just like went in practice and he was like, no, Clifford, no, say it this way.
A psychopath.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
a next level psychopath. I mean,
next level, absolutely next level.
He's not a little kid trying to convince that he should be allowed to have a sleepover at Jimmy's house.
Yes.
This is like, Yeah, bringing 9/11 into it. Wow.
He
has no limits.
I'm like, how did he even learn about 9/11? I guess they had TV in prison.
Yeah.
His parole was denied.
Excellent.
Mr. Olson presents a high risk and a psychopathic risk, the National Parole Board said. He's a sexual sadist and a narcissist. If released, he will kill again.
Bang on.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. That's just science, I think, right there.
Yes.
You can't argue science.
That's right. You can't. On March 2010, Olson, who was at this point now 70, informs the Toronto Sun that he earns over $1,000 a month in old age security benefits, sparking nationwide outrage.
Really? So I'm outraged hearing this right now.
Yeah, but he could have kept it to himself, but he was like, I'm going to tell the Toronto Sun.
He is a taunter. He is a taunter.
The biggest taunter. Like the biggest, like
he's pissing me off right now.
Right? And it's like he never grew past that phase. Like my son used to taunt me when he was like 4. Yes. It's like he got stunted there. He
wanted the attention. It goes back to the attention seeker.
So the federal, after that, and he changed some stuff too, because he just like went for stuff and we were like, no, you can't do this. And now nobody can ever again.
Ever again. Yeah.
So after that, the federal government ceases pensions for prisoners locked up longer than 2 years.
Okay.
Security benefits are eliminated the following year.
Ooh, other prisoners aren't going to like him.
Yeah, no, he's screwed.
Yeah.
November 29th, 2010, Olson flunks his third parole hearing. He says it will be his last. September 2011, victims' families are notified of Olson dying of cancer in the Quebec hospital. And September 30th, 2011, Corrections Canada confirms that Olson died.
Okay. Oh, so he died in a hospital.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah.
I was hoping a couple shanks maybe, or like, something.
And so we are going to get just like,
I guess that's, I don't hope that. I mean, no, I kind of do.
Yeah,
I kind of do.
For some people, I think that's okay, like, and fair to just like hope that a little bit,
I mean, he was just a POS.
Yeah.
All around. Like there were, every aspect of him, dick move. Did his wife ever make any comment?
I didn't really look into her, to be honest, but that's good. I should look
just
into her.
Because she received all that money.
Yeah.
And it's like, if some people might say like, I would be like, ugh, keep it. I don't want it. That's blood money. I don't want it. Mm-hmm.
She probably just like changed her name and went into hiding.
Yeah. And
Clifford III is probably Joshua.
Yeah. Well, she did a Homolka move.
Yeah. But she didn't help in any of the kills.
No, but obliviousness and maybe change her name, maybe a little plastic surgery or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So we'll talk a little bit more about the parole. At his Okay. At his sentencing, I know we're jumping like back and forth a little bit, but that's
we're learning here.
We're learning. At Clifford Olson's sentencing, Justice McKay, the trial judge, remarked, my considered opinion is that you should never be granted parole for the remainder of your days. It would be foolhardy to let you at large. So at least the judges had some common sense. Like they were like, absolutely not. This guy's not getting out.
Yeah.
And then in 1997, Olson was denied parole for which he applied under the faint hope clause, which we talked about.
Right.
And then they got rid of it. Canadian law allows inmates convicted of first-degree murder to apply for parole after serving a minimum of 25 years.
Okay.
And this might have changed now, but this was at the time.
Right.
Olson's second parole hearing on July 18th, 2006 was also denied. Olson made many bizarre and false claims, including that the United States had granted him clemency for providing information about the September 11 attacks, and that the hearing had no jurisdiction over him because of that. So
he had to have been in like protective, not custody, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no way. Was he in Gen Pop?
He must have been. Or no. He was a child killer. He would have been in.
Exactly. Like, there is no way
you
this
can
guy.
tell his mind's starting to.
It's starting to unravel. Like,
he's got nobody to talk to.
He's losing it. Yeah.
Nobody to bounce his ideas off.
Yeah. He would have been killed.
Totally.
So
Hands
quickly.
down.
Okay.
Under Canadian law, Olson was then entitled to make a case for parole every 2 years. And as we know, he was
denied.
So a non-issue. We talked about the old age pension controversy. In September of 2011, the media reports indicated that Olson had terminal cancer and had been transferred to a hospital in Quebec, and he died at the age of 71.
Well, I mean, he died.
He died.
We're happy about that.
We're happy he died. We're happy he spent a lot of his life in jail coming up with these weird conspiracies, just like turning himself into a tizzy.
Just such a narcissistic...
I feel like, and is there anything you can do for narcissism? Or
not
it just is
really.
what it is?
I think it just is what it is. And I mean, he died. Let's just leave it at that.
Right.
I mean, we're obviously doing an episode about him, but it's like some people are like, just don't talk about them. Then we're not giving them what they want.
Well, I feel like
it's like,
you go, sorry.
No, that's just I mean, like we've talked about him, but at the end we're like, he died. And that's what we wanted this whole time.
That's right.
For it to end that way.
Exactly. And from the looks of it, I didn't do the math, but like if he died at 71 in 2011, and when was he? Let me go back to see when he was arrested. We can find out how old he was.
Good. 2006 was something.
He was arrested in 1981, so he was 41.
41, okay.
So he would have lived 30 years in prison.
We like that.
We like that. Wish it could have been more, but 30 years will do, you know?
30 years, I mean... We're in our 30s. So much has happened.
Yeah.
In 30 years. Like, that's a long time to be.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Like in that time, like from the 80s to the 2010s,
yeah.
Smartphones came out.
I don't even want to know what he would have been like if he had lasted.
Debit
like,
machines, tap.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. But if he had reached to like late 80s, 90s, he would have been just gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There would have been no.
His mind would have just been collapsed.
He would have been like, I should be in the president.
I am Sir Isaac
Donald
Newton. Yeah. Yeah, Sir Isaac. Yeah.
They're like the same person.
Yeah, they're the same.
I'm going to get hate for that.
No,
I'm fine with it because I'm Canadian.
I'm still in jail. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thanks for listening to us this week.
We just listened to your guys' debate over there, and it was a good one.
Oh, in the States.
Yeah. This is when we're filming this one, or taping this one.
September 12th.
Yeah, you guys have a lot on your plate over there, okay?
Yeah, we're going to leave you guys to do your thing.
Do your thing. We have our thing, we have our election we're coming up with.
And let's just share media, and let's keep listening to each other's podcasts and crime stories and serial killer stories, and remembering and honoring the victims as well.
Yeah.
And families of the victims.
Yeah, we're just doing our thing over here. We just love true crime, okay?
We do.
Throwing a couple jokes in it here and there.
And we love you for listening.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Instagram.
As I say to our customers at the stand, you keep us going.
You keep us
going.
Without you, where would our money be?
Yeah.
Just kidding. This is episode 2. We're not paid for anything.
We're not paid for anything yet, but maybe one day.
Maybe we'll get some little ad spaces going.
But we're entering spooking season, so hopefully these episodes just get, even more spooky.
Yeah.
Creepy. No, creepy, I should say.
You should listen to us with the lights down low.
Lights down low. Yeah,
a couple of candles going.
Yeah.
Maybe do a seance.
Yeah. And watch an episode of Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah. And watch an episode of Ready or Not.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for listening to Canadian Creepies. Don't get creeped out.
Don't let the bed creeps bite.
And creeping it real.
Yeah. Creep it real over there.
Keep it real for wherever you're listening from. And thanks. And we like you. And we love
like you a lot. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.